If you aren't where you want to be financially, chances are you've fallen victim to one of these all too common middle-class money traps. The inability to escape the rat race and the middle class nearly always boils down to a handful of these traps, which can be relatively simple to avoid but seem to befall everyone. They will be locked in the middle class for the rest of their lives. Pay attention to these traps so you can avoid them at all costs. Habitually borrowing money and getting into debt, especially at a young age, is a trap that will almost certainly set you up for failure and keep you stuck in the middle class for life. Young adults, in particular, are enthralled by the ability to borrow money for purchases such as college. Welcome to Cashflow Canvas, where we teach lessons about investment and money-saving techniques. If you want to make your financial future better, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates. Cars that would otherwise take months or years to pay cash for, while this is wonderful, you don't know how long those debts will take to repay until it's too late. Student loans or vehicle loans can take years or even decades to pay down, establishing a lifelong cycle of borrowing to buy items that are out of your budget in reality. Avoiding this one mistake could provide you with the financial security you need to acquire traction and make the required moves to become wealthy. A few seemingly little debts can swiftly devour the rest of your budget, making it practically hard to move forward. Imagine not knowing how much you spend. If a friend or coworker tells you that they don't have any money, whether they're behind on their payments or can't afford to meet you for dinner at a restaurant, the most common answer is, "I have no idea." It's as if money has a mind of its own. How can this be, especially when they're earning a decent wage? Shouldn't someone who can't seem to get ahead have some idea of how much money they're spending each month and where it's going? It's difficult to make changes for the better if you have no idea where to begin. This is a significant issue. Numerous people fail to keep track of their spending and wonder why they can never seem to catch a break. If they took a close look at their monthly purchases, they'd almost certainly find something that provides no value to them and can be cut from their budget. According to Robert Kiyosaki, assets put money in your pocket while liabilities take money out. An asset is anything that creates income, such as a share of a stock index fund or ETF, real estate, a business commodity, or anything else. These assets help you fund your expenses and develop wealth. Money on a continuous basis and depreciates in value, such as autos. These expenses prevent you from accumulating wealth. Rich people understand how to prioritize asset acquisition over liability repayment, whereas the middle class does the opposite. Middle-class folks work for money and then squander it all. The result is that they must continue working every day year after year in order to fund their lifestyle. This behavior is a trap that keeps you poor with no forward progress. Trying to look rich by showing wealth off to others provides a false sense of security. Some people feel satisfied because they can show their peers how well they're doing, but this is an extremely expensive money trap that will keep you poor. You want to appear wealthy and successful, right? You want your friends, family, and especially the people you despise to be proud or jealous of your alleged wealth. Purchasing lovely outfits, costly automobiles, taking lavish holidays, dining at high-end restaurants, and purchasing a property based on what others think is a trap that many middle-class people fall into. The wow aspect of acquiring a luxury car will only last a short time, but the monthly payments will last 5 years, 6, or 7 years. Splashing the name of a fancy hotel where you stayed while on vacation is impressive, but that feeling of superiority when you tell your friends is only going to last a minute or two. Are these expensive behaviors really benefiting you, or are they financially hurting you? The funny thing is, millionaires don't try to impress their friends. People who do everything they can to impress others are the worst off financially. Focusing on saving rather than expanding is excellent and something that most people don't do. This can help you reduce your expenses and provide more room in your budget, but the problem is that lowering your costs when it comes to building wealth. The middle class has grown unduly focused on saving money as a means of improving their finances. Looking for ways to save is obviously a good thing, but they should also focus on expanding their income. How could they earn more money if your annual spending is so high? is $50,000. The most you could ever save is $50,000. However, increasing your income has no ceiling, which means you could potentially double, triple, or tenfold your earnings. Becoming overly obsessed with saving money with no emphasis on increasing your income is a middle-class money trap because rich people know better. If you overspend on a home, it's almost a guarantee that you'll be broke forever. Yet it's possibly the most typical middle-class money trap that will hold you back for decades, with housing already eating the majority of the average person's income. Budget overspending on this item is harmful to almost everyone because financing a home is challenging enough. With the expense of real estate, not to mention current interest rates, some home buyers are extremely picky when it comes to choosing a place to live. It has to be in a good location, have a large kitchen, and plenty of room for gas appliances. More than one bathroom and additional facilities that raise the price. Ask yourself how you're supposed to save for retirement, pay down debt, raise kids, and have enough left over to treat yourself if you buy a home beyond what you can reasonably afford. By choosing the wrong partner, the real problem isn't simply getting married. The problem is getting divorced. When two financially savvy people marry, they have a child have incredible wealth-building potential because they now have multiple incomes in one household. However, the unfortunate reality is that divorce is extremely common and is a major blow to your financial future. Approximately half of the marriages end in divorce, causing financial hardship to both parties. Living conditions and their net worth. Consider the possibility of having to separate your entire household from your home, vehicles, retirement funds, and other savings. This does not only apply to married couples. Even having a significant other on a casual level who does not share your financial goals can be a tremendous impediment when trying to become debt-free in order to invest. Off all of your debt, which could take until your 50s or 60s, and then begin to invest. This is a common thought process that will keep you stuck in the middle class. The idea of becoming debt-free before beginning to invest is well-intentioned, but it may actually be harming you. It often takes years, if not decades, to become debt-free. Waiting until everything is paid off before making your final student loan or mortgage payment means you're sacrificing critical time that could be used to let your investments grow and compound. For example, if someone spends their entire life crawling out of debt, once they're in their 50s, they make their last mortgage payment. Begin saving and investing for retirement, but time is no longer on their side. Accumulating hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars for a rapidly approaching retirement is practically impossible without compound interest, since the burden of accumulating a pile of cash is almost entirely on you. The reality is that most financial issues may be prevented by avoiding 5 ridiculously typical money traps. By just being aware of these traps and avoiding them, you can almost be assured that you will remain in the middle class for the rest of your life, dependent on a paycheck with no end in sight.